Ever since the release of Chat GPT, everyone has been talking about artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it may replace our jobs in the future. Can AI replace you as a leader? Would AI make a better leader than you? I know I have worried about our leadership jobs by just imagining what AI can evolve into. I'm sure you're thinking the same, so let's discuss it. Today we're going to discuss 3 topics. Why AI would make a good leader, why AI wouldn't make a good leader, what will make you irreplaceable as a leader. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why AI would make a good leader. AI is not greedy. There's no reason for it to be greedy. It doesn't even need a salary. AI also doesn't have any ego. There's no strive for reputation. There's no strive for image. It has no reason to flatter its superiors or play bureaucratic games to move up the ladder. AI is also not emotional. It won't react or have an emotional fit if something is behind schedule. I had a leader in the past, he would yell at people if projects were running behind. I'm thinking AI wouldn't act that way. It's just going to focus on how can we get the project back on track so we can deliver it to our customers. And related to emotions, the decisions that AI would make wouldn't be based on emotions. Instead, it would use logic and data. AI would also be objective and unbiased. There won't be any biases when interviewing people, when hiring people, when promoting people, or making any compensation changes. All of this would be based solely on merit. Now, there is a caveat here. This will be based on the data that the AI is trained on. If the data itself is biased, then AI would end up being biased. But I'm just imagining future versions and future evolutions where over time we've trained it to remove biases. AI would also be present. It would be good at listening. It won't be asking for the same updates over and over like a lot of leaders do because they're not paying attention. I've also had leaders in one-on-one meetings where they're not really present. They're on their phone, messaging on Slack or emails or even Instagram. But AI would be completely present in the moment and listen to everything we're saying. And it has plenty of time to do so. There won't be any scheduling conflicts because it can just replicate itself. It can also be always available, unlike a human leader, because AI does not have human needs. AI would also make a great leader because of data analysis. AI can crunch a lot of data in a short amount of time. This means it can account for successes and failures from the past. It can run various simulations and forecast what a future outcome can look like and make the best strategic decision to get there. A lot of leaders, including myself, are still learning how to use data effectively. AI can also provide basic coaching. Just recently, I asked Chat GPT, how do I get promoted to the next level? Or how do I handle conflict with a coworker? And it gave some pretty good ideas that can be great starting points. Seeing the advantages that AI has to offer, do we as human leaders even stand a chance? Do you think AI would replace leaders? Add it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's talk about why AI wouldn't make a good leader. The first reason is its lack of emotion. Yeah, I counted that as an upside earlier, but there's a major downside here. AI doesn't have any emotional intelligence. As a leader, when I'm talking to someone, I'm listening to their voice, I'm looking at their facial expressions, their body language, their tonality, their volume, their pacing. All of this gives me data that either reinforces what's being said or something that may be going underneath the surface that I can potentially help out with. AI can listen, but it can't truly hear what's happening, at least not yet. AI does not have any empathy or compassion. Empathy meaning truly understanding what the other person is going through, and compassion is truly feeling for the other person. For example, AI might know that layoffs are bad, but because AI hasn't been laid off itself, it cannot truly understand its impact on the families that it can cause, impact on mental health, and so forth. When I think about empathy and compassion, the line from Morpheus from Matrix comes into mind. There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. AI can definitely know the path, but it doesn't have any understanding because it hasn't actually walked the path. AI can also not make any experience-based decisions. As humans, we're collecting a lot of life experiences that is now converted from knowledge to understanding to wisdom. Why is this important as a leader? There are some times where I don't take the optimal route and I actually let people fall and make mistakes because I know that learning will help that person grow in their career. And it's not really going to set us back in the project. There are certain nuances we need to account for, even with all the data that's available to us. AI also cannot inspire others, which is a key quality of human leaders. AI can tell inspirational stories based on other people's lives, but it can't truly inspire us based on its story. It hasn't gone through hardships and failures that we can relate to. It cannot connect us to a higher meaning or purpose. I know that any meaning that AI would tell me is something that's been programmed to it, not something that it's coming up with based on its experiences. Related to inspiration, leaders need to have a positive attitude of the future, have an optimistic outlook that something great is going to happen, or this is how we're going to change the world. AI can say these things, but it can't really inspire us with that positivity. A lot of times, We follow leaders because of the connections that they've built with us. There was a leader I worked with who took me on when I was at the lowest point of confidence in my career. She really inspired me, supported me, created opportunities to the point where I was adding major impact to the teams that I was leading. There are leaders who build such great human connections that you get to a point where they say jump and you're like, how high? Another way these connections are built are through common values. We know AI and us wouldn't have common values. It can tout the company values, but it can't really lead by example there. Let's also talk about creativity. As leaders, we need to do a lot of creative problem solving. Looking at DALL-E, for example, AI can take inspiration from other artists and combine it and maybe create new things in the process too. Even with that, there's still a human being who's giving it some creative and crazy commands which AI is then putting together. As leaders, we are accountable for any bad decisions that are made on the team. If AI is the leader, who is accountable? How would we hold the AI accountable for its bad decisions? What if AI was hacked and it leads the company in the wrong direction? We do have different set of viruses for humans and AI, but the AI can also experience viruses. Then what happens to its always being available? Also, what happens when maintenance needs to happen to the servers? Granted, there are ways to do upgrades and maintenance without bringing the servers down. In some cases, we have to reboot, and in some cases, we have to take the server down. And then who's leading the company? If you're finding this video valuable so far, smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. AI is here to stay. What will make you irreplaceable as a leader? It's going to be emotional intelligence, empathy, and compassion. Quite a few leaders haven't invested in developing these traits. And eventually, these leaders may be replaced because AI might do a better job than them. So maybe we can use the recent rapid advancements with AI as a wake-up call. I asked Chat GPT, will AI have empathy and emotional intelligence in the future? This is what it told me. As of current knowledge, AI lacks the capability of true empathy and emotional intelligence, as these are complex human traits that require subjective experiences and self-awareness. However, AI is constantly improving, and there's ongoing research in this field of emotional AI. AI can't do this yet, so let's be better leaders by capitalizing on what AI can't do and what makes us truly human. To develop our empathy and truly think from the other person's perspective, I recommend watching this next. It's my summary of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm Neeraj Mathrani. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.